Hello everybody, welcome back. It's Creative Redundancy back again, also known as CR, as you can see R on the screen here. And I want to show you people out there these, not one, but two tin-based supplemental type of survival kits. Something you can bring along with you and complement the gear that you may already have with you. Something like a smartphone, wallet, water bottle, like a metal water bottle. Stuff you may everyday carry EDC with you already. If you go out hiking into the woods, something you can put in your pocket to supplement and use like as a last ditch type of kit or as a backup to your normal stuff that you may have already with you, like a smartphone, that backpack, you know. These could be put in your pocket on your way out if you had to leave with a go bag, for example. And these are not that heavy, but they do contain a lot of things that have CR in it, as you will see. Not quite all 10, but close to. And relatively, you can make something very similar to this and adapt ideas that you will see here. Now, both of these are in these resealable type of press and seal type of baggies. As you can see here, yes, see, it's got CR in it. That'll be a central theme in this. A lot of CR words in this video. Now, the baggie I could be using as a way to keep the tin dry, of course, the contents dry. But I could also use it as a container to put stuff into, because that has CR in it too. I'm going to pull both of them out at the same time. I'm going to actually do both kits at the same time, because both of these tins are very similar. They're not identical like twins, but they're very, very similar, as you will see here. So you guys can start seeing what I will show. Now, before I get into it, just to give a size comparison. Here's a tape measure here, so you guys can kind of make out the dimensions, give or take. Give or take. Well, you guys can see those measurements right there, both in inches and in centimeters. So you guys can get a size comparison or a gist of the size. So let me just pull out this one right here. Relatively easy to pull out. Say relatively. So first thing you're going to see here is a piece of cotton, which is part of the first 10 C's of survivability. Now, cotton can be used to make char cloth. Char cloth has CR in it. And the cotton can be used wet for dry, for putting around your neck, for evaporation type of cooling, a pre-filter, collect dew, dry something off, maybe your hands or something like that, like wipe your face, something like that, for example. Now you're going to see the tin themselves. Now you're going to see some more amazing things in here, maybe even spectacular. Let me just swing these tins in a little bit closer so you can see them. See, one's been sanded down. The other one I got a reflective tape around here. I just kept this part in, you know, for morale reasons maybe. So it is reflective. It's reflective tape. And besides, these would be easier to see if I put them or someone put them on the ground, because they kind of are shiny. So underneath that, you'll see two sandwich bags. These could be used like any container to put stuff in. So I can put water in there, clean water in here, maybe water that I have to process, for example, tinder, like birch bark, dry stuff like that, dry tinder like that. Snow in here to melt, and anything else that can fit in these containers. By the way, that has CR in it. Yes, container does contain CR, by the way. Now these two right here are vinyl type of orange material right here. So you guys can see a size comparison. These two are actually puzzle tins, by the way. So you guys can see sort of a size comparison. If I just put the tin down right there, I can cut these into strips using them like trail marking tape, for example. Signaling if I need to, mark a campsite, mark my way back, mark the trail back, right on here if necessary, and stuff like that. And both tins have these. Now I'm gonna open up both tins here so you guys can see the inside of them. And like I said, they're very, very similar. So first thing you're gonna see in one of the 10 C's, cargo tape. So I got duct tape and electrical tape on this side. This is layered, easy to just unpeel and use for patching, maybe as an improvised bandage with some of the stuff that's already in this kit. Lots of uses for this. So there's some in there for both the tins. Right here, you're gonna see a reflective material on this side, and this one also has reflective material too. So I'm just gonna move this out of the way here. Move both these reflective material out of the way. Basically, it's an impromptu kind of a signaling device. So I could signal with it if need be. It's not the most reflective. I'll have to work on this a little bit more. But I can, you know, see if there's something in my eye, for example. Check the back. You know, maybe I had something on the back. Maybe look for something if I had something on a mark or something on my back or something like that. So useful. Now both of these tins also include coffee filters for pre-filtering, even better than the cotton material that I showed earlier, and some aluminum foil that's already been pre-folded into a cup. So I could use that for boiling purposes, to disinfect the water via boiling and remove the not remove, but sterilize the biological stuff via boiling. And I'll obviously strain the water, pre-strain or pre-filtered water from sediment, larger things in the water and stuff like that. Now you can see both of these tins are very similar. Slight differences, as you can tell, and you can start seeing some color things in here. So both of these contain a very basic type of fishing kit. There's some hooks, swivel, sinker, and I do believe there is leaders in here too. No, there's no leader in here. I don't have the leaders in here yet. You can see. Just in a straw, just to keep it together. As you can see right there. So if you're close to water or river or lake, you might be able to fish for food, for example. Use these for our reasons if need be. Put them right here. Next here is another one of the first 5 C's of survivability, a cutting tool. Honestly, you can see the color. Yeah. You can see the theme in here. Next here are 2 stormproof matches, modified stormproof matches. So these will burn slightly longer than a normal stormproof match because I've wrapped some stuff around it. I have a video on that. You can check that out on the channel. Next here, to go with the combustion of that, 2 lighters. So now I get another flame source. I can use the flint inside the lighter if the lighters were kaput or there's no fuel or something like that, to get a spark, for example. So source of combustion, fire. Next here is some parachute type of cordage. Of course, that has CR in it. Tie things together, shelter making. Well, lots of things you can use cordage for, especially if you know the knowledge and have the knowledge and the skill of knots and hitches, for example. You know, bowline, trucker's hitch, alpine butterfly knot, or alpine butterfly loop, for example. Next here are two very basic type of sewing kits right here. So there's a needle in here, sewing needle, and some thread around the outside of a straw. One end's melted, the other end is open. There's a piece of cotton on the other end to keep the sewing needle inside of there. And both of them have two sewing needles. So it counts as the container and as the bobbin to keep the thread on and keeps the sewing needle inside. And they're already pre-threaded. Now, one kit on this side actually has a candle. So that's actually one of the 10Cs. Now, I don't have one in this one at the moment. Hopefully I'll put one in. So, candle. It's in a straw, so even in the heat, all the wax would just melt in here and wouldn't get over the kit, for example. And to go with the sewing needle here, so I can get them out, both of these tins also contain two magnets, rare earth neodymium magnets. These come from headphones. I can magnetize the needles and float it and get a general north-south type of direction. North-south type of direction. You know, if I drop the sewing needle or need to put the sewing needle down, I could just put it on the lid of the tin, put the magnet there, put the sewing needle on there so it stays put. So it's harder to lose, for example. And remember, if you're attracted to this, hit me on a big thumbs up if you're liking what you see in these two supplemental tin-based twin-like survival type of kits. And you can supplement and complement the stuff that you carry or would be carrying, like a water bottle, for example. Now, right here is another one of the 10Cs here. Is cover that has CR in it too. These are basically, they're not trash bags, but they're actually blue recycling bags. For signaling purposes, these would be useful because blue generally on the ground is not, like in the woods, in the forest, stuff like that, it's not a common color to see. So this would stand out for sure. So for sure you could use this for cover. Maybe signaling, you'd be more noticeable, something like this, versus like a black trash bag, for example. So that's a form of cover, shelter elements in there. Of course, I got two strikers in here for the stormproof matches. They're sealed, so these will stay dry even if the tin or the contents get submerged or get wet. Right here is another CR word, cordage, to use in conjunction or with or supplement the parachute type of cordage that I have up here and whatever I can do with this. So both of these have orange type of cordage right here. This is free strand. Each individual strand is about 7 pounds. So in total, it's about 20 pounds. Give or take, give or take, give or take. I did actually lift a bag with this, so I'm a known weight with it. Now nested inside here, as you can see, so I used up the space, I got jute twine in there. So that could be used for tinder, extra cordage if necessary, and stuff like that. So I could be using this as like the fishing line, for example, or use the inner strands in here. Lots of different uses for some of this stuff, multiple uses, many cases. Now right here, lastly, is an improvised type of whistle. Similar how you would blow on top of a bottle and make that sound, it's the same way you would use these. Now I'm gonna actually walk over into another room here so you guys can still hear me. I'm gonna shout a little bit more and I will blow both of them in their room. So headphone users, FYI, I'm way over here. I'm going almost around the corner. I might be like about like 30 feet, maybe 30 feet away, give or take now. And then blow both of them. First one. Second one. Now I'm walking back into the camera here so you guys can hear me. So these are loud enough for what it is. Very lightweight, so. And just some gold type of sticker type of material just so they stand out. So it's harder to lose. And of course the tin themselves. So I hope you enjoyed CR's example here of two twin length survival kits that you can use to complement or supplement the gear that you have or would be bringing with you. These two can easily fit in a pocket and supplement some of the gear that you do have. Maybe even use it as a last ditch kit, for example. Something you could also throw in your bag, and if you gotta grab your bag, your go bag or whatever, you could put this in your pocket and have something in your pocket to also supplement or complement the gear that you already have in your bag or your everyday carry EDC type of items. And you can, as you saw, there is a lot of most, not all the 10 C's of survivability: shelter, fire to control core body temperature, a cutting tool, make feather sticks. You can't baton with them, but you can make feather sticks with them, for example. Some cordage for shelter reasons, some fishing stuff just in case if you're by water, for example, or for other reasons. Ways to signal, ways to pre-filter water, containers, lots of containers, a couple baggies, sandwich baggies, press and seal type of baggies, recycling trash bag type of baggies, and a piece of cotton material too, just in case you gotta wipe the water off you. So if you enjoyed this video, hit me on a big thumbs up, maybe even 2. That'd be awesome. And remember, as our world changes, we can adapt too. Skill and knowledge get better with practice. You can't help everyone out there, but one person can help someone out there. Until the next video for me, it's peace out from the one known as CR. And remember, practice with the gear when you have a chance. Take care.